Hey everybody, this is Crash Davidian, and you are listening to KPCR 92.9 FM and K215GA 90.9 FM in Los Gatos. And if in your Santa Cruz, that would be KMRT 101.9 FM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dilworth and you are not. And this is the Dark Party. Yeah. Well, sounds a little different because I'm coming to you direct from uptight downtown Goldfield, Nevada, the third floor of the Elks Lodge. It's the ballroom. It's actually the Brian Smalley ballroom. And I use it when I record here in Goldfield. And that's why you hear a little noise. There's people here and they're going to be dancing to the music and going from there because this is where I am the other half of the time, Bat Country. So, we're going to have two sets for you. First set is going to be called Burned. And you'll find out why in a moment. And then I'm doing a replay for the benefit of people who did not hear, because not everyone heard the interview with the Breathing Light. It's very good, very well worth hearing. And if you're on another channel, on most of these stations, you'll hear a different mix. But you'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's mostly for the benefit of Powercat Radio. But we're both, and all of us, going to listen to Burnt here. To start, we're going to hear Joy Division, Heart and Soul. After all, one's going to burn. Then, new music by Blood Handsome, Dreaming in Silver. After that, Sextile is going to Lose Myself Again. After that, COCTEAU twins are going to retort with Know Who You Are at Every Age. And you ought to. Okay? So let's get to it because there's all kinds of music ahead and a really cool interview next hour. So let's do it. Kick it, Fiona.
so you know why I lost myself identified. Cry, 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 so you know why I lost myself identified. Lost driven by the light. I was here on that side.
Well, I'm Dr. Dilworth and you're not. And this is the Dark Party, and I'm coming to you directly from uptight downtown Goldfield, Nevada. And you might wonder why I'm not going to be live. Yeah, I'm not live. I'm pre-recording, actually, from Goldfield, where I usually do the Jackalope Hour, which is another show that should be on your radio station, if it isn't. Ask for the Jackalope Hour. Anyway, so I'm going to be in LA doing various work and situations and things, so I'm pre-recording. And we just heard Blitz, Flowers and Fire from their second album, Second Empire Justice. Before that was the COCTEAU Twins, Know Who You Are at Every Age. Sextile came in before that with Lost Myself Again from their first full-length push. Then a new single by Blood Handsome, Dreaming in Silver. And we started this set with Joy Division, Heart and Soul. Okay, so next we're going to hear a request. A shout out to Bruce, who asked for this, Swimming Horses by Siouxsie and the Banshees. After that, we're going to hear some David Bowie, some deep tracks by David Bowie. Some are. After that, Gary Numan is going to Remind Me to Smile, because that's what he sang back in 1981. Anyway, we got a lot more music ahead, but I want you to hear this. So, kick it, Fiona. I'm Dr. Dilworth and you're not. You're hearing Pirate Cat Radio right now. Yes, right now. That's what you're listening to on your radio, your streaming device, your car, your phone, or in your silver fillings. Pirate Cat Radio is a non-corporate, independent media source that brings you music, word, news, interviews, and more created by people, real people, and is a part of your community in the South Bay area and in and around Monterey Bay. Times are difficult for independent media, and grants and funding for community radio and media are being cut by certain characters in DC. We need your help and support to continue bringing Pirate Cat Radio to you. Visit donate.kpcr.org and join the Signal Society to become a sustaining member. That way, we'll keep on getting donations and we can keep on bringing you the music and words you want to hear. A $25 donation will help Pirate Cat Radio keep on bringing the music and words you want to hear. And you get a t-shirt, perks, bonuses, you get put into drawings for free tickets for shows, all kinds of things, and you keep on getting Pirate Cat Radio. So, go to donate.kpcr.org, help us out, and keep Pirate Cat Radio going. Thank you.
Drive
This is Pirate Cat Radio, KPCRLP 92.9 FM and K215GA 90.9 FM in Los Gatos, California. KMRT-LP 101.9 FM in Santa Cruz. Also at kpcr.org. Pirate Cat Radio. We want the airwaves.
Sleigh bells and snow, cinder corner blazing eyes, summer bound to fair, summer winter song. Cinder corner blazing eyes, summer bound to fair, summer winter sun.
Young things are straight. Toys, toys.com. Boys, boys, you are. Remind me to smile you now. Be your friends like it gets. So I feel like I'm in this glass cage. Get up and talk. And get out the phone. Move from my window, leave me alone. Keep your revivals. Then keep your conventions. Keep all your fantasies as all we are. You, I know. Old stars are showing. We all you see. Crawl in love. White lines are great. Young things are great. Toys, toys are more. Boys, boys you are. Yo, I know. Old stars are showing. We all you see. Crawl in love. White lines are great. Young things are great. Toys, toys are more. Boys, boys you are. Yo, I know. Old stars are showing. We
Ange, parle-moi, le plus vaste des cœurs se brise. Parle-moi, l'hiver pourvu qu'on le cultive. Dans cette pièce, nul semble respirer. Ici, c'est un abri qui m'a été donné. Don't let me die, l'ange. Don't let me die, l'archange. Tu sais le temps qu'il faut pour apaiser nos peines. Don't let me die. Dis encore, je t'aime. Parle-moi, pourquoi cette couleur trompeuse? Ange, parle-moi de voir qu'en lui ils étaient deux. Je sais ce que mentir veut dire pour moi. Tu sais, Dieu a rompu son pacte avec cet étranger. Don't let me die, l'ange. Don't let me die, l'archange. Tu sais le temps qu'il faut pour apaiser nos peines. Don't let me die. Dis encore, je t'aime. Parle-moi, 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 dis-moi si tu es là. Ange, parle-moi, 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 dis-moi si tu es là. Parle-moi, 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 dis-moi si tu es là. Ange, parle-moi, 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 dis-moi si tu es là. Don't let me die, l'ange. Don't let me die, l'archange. Tu sais le temps qu'il faut pour apaiser nos peines. Don't let me die. Dis encore, je t'aime. Don't let me die.
This is The Dark Party, and I'm Dr. Dilworth, and I'm coming to you direct from uptight downtown Goldfield, Nevada. Woo, and we're getting ready to go on a trip here. But next hour, on most of these stations, we are going to hear the interview with The Breathing Light. Very good again, because it is worth hearing again, or you'll hear another mix. You'll find out in about 10 minutes. And after that, on most of those other stations, you will hear Art Bell, Somewhere in Time. He's going to be talking about aliens and UFOs, and Linda Moulton Howe will give him the mutilation report for the cows. Well, that's great. Anyway, that's in about an hour from the Kingdom of Nye. I got 2 more songs in the set. Next, Shades of Violet, Hello, Jeremy, and of course Melanie, Afterlife. And then we're going to end with some Coil, Departed. And then we will get into the next part of the show. Kick it, Fiona.
Afterlife, they're with us right now.
KPCR thanks Round Table Pizza and Los Gatos for sponsoring the Signal Society. Members receive 15% off any in-store order when they show their membership card. Dine like royalty and support community radio. Learn more at kpcr.org/join. This is Pirate Cat Radio, KPCRLP 92.9 FM and K215GA 90.9 FM in Los Gatos, California. KMRT-LP 101.9 FM in Santa Cruz. Also at kpcr.org. Pirate Cat Radio, we want the airwaves. By the way, this is The Dark Party, and I am Dr. Dilworth, and you're absolutely not. So, this hour, I am so lucky and fortunate that on the West Coast tour of the Bay Area and Los Angeles area, the Breathing Light came in. It was a Saturday night, pretty late, and they had just had a show canceled up in Oakland. So they drove down to Los Gatos, where Pirate Cat Radio studios are, and saw Coil and DJ walking on the street, and I greeted them and said hello, let's go up to the studio, and we started talking. So this is the unedited interview. It's quite interesting, and it's in two parts because, well, we need to have a break in the middle. So without any further ado, as soon as I'm done talking here, we are going to hear the first part of the interview I did with the Breathing Light about a couple weeks ago because, well, I've been busy and I need to put this together. So here we go. Kick it, Fiona.
We played the Black and Brown 143rd Festival before, or yeah, Black and Brown Oakland. But this is gonna be the first time that we've played like the Southern California, like Southern California in general. Oh, yeah. So before I don't mean to interrupt, but we do need to say who you are because you all know who I am. But who are the gentlemen I see, folks? The gentlemen I see across from me. Who am I speaking with? This is Kyle O0 from the Breathing Light. Yeah.
And I'm DJ Robinson, also from the Breathing Light.
Nice. And I'm really excited that, I heard of Kiko. Kiko said that you didn't have a gig tonight. And, came on down here. So I appreciate your time. And it's amazing to see you both. So thank you for being here. Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure.
Sure. So yeah, this is not your first time in the Bay Area, but like you say, you're this first time kind of a West Coast tour. Past, I think the next date you got is in Long Beach tomorrow. We played Long Beach the day before yesterday. Oh, the next date would be Fullerton tomorrow. Oh wow, okay. At the Program Skate Shop. Cool. Do you have any dates past that? No, that's it. That's gonna be it for our tour. For now, we plan on coming back. Fair enough. That's cool. And well, I hope maybe next time I can convince you to come in here and play some stuff because, like I said, this is kind of a studio, and we got the conference room, and we could do a thing. So one thing at a time. Though. Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, I know you offered it, and I was like, that because Akiko was telling me about it, and I was just like, if I would have known, like, we could have like. Yeah, we could probably have rented some instruments and then came through.
Yeah, we're traveling pretty light since we flew out here as opposed to driving out here. So our options were a little bit more limited. But we do have we don't have any guitars with us right now. Sure. Yeah. Next time. And just to be clear for those who are listening and who don't know you, and shame on you if you don't know who the Breathing Light is. For real. I mean, a hell of a band, an awesome band. And And I will say, to my regret, I didn't know you were playing. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's okay. For real. Because you do some awesome stuff, and I hear. Well, I got told a few things by Akiko, but we'll get to those things. But if you don't know who the Breathing Light, check them out. They're amazing. They're an amazing group, and you're out of. If you look at your biography, you started out in. Was it Mississippi or Alabama? Just to be clear. It was Alabama. Okay, Alabama. And you went to Chicago, like many people have done in times past. Mm-hmm. Fair enough. And what's kind of the origin of your band, of the whole situation? What is it?
Okay, so basically, it started in Alabama. I was going to shows at a place called the Flying Monkey, and now it's called Low Mill. But originally, it was like a place where a lot of performers came through. I know that one of the shows I first went to there was the Queers that played there.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Dee Dee Ramone had played a show there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, like in times past. But yeah, going to shows there, I wanted to see if I could start a band there, because at the time I was going to school and I was in marching band, and so I wanted to see if I could start my own rock band after going to shows. And then I started getting in contact with people, and then it just kind of rolled into me, like, having jam sessions in my dorm room, and that turned into like finding people that were willing to perform with me and like write songs and perform songs, and just kind of came into like, this group, the Breathing Light, and that's kind of how we are now.
DJ, how did you come into the Breathing Light?
So I'm actually a newer-ish addition to the Breathing Light. The Breathing Light had such a storied career, but I came in during COVID. Danny's partner knew my roommate at the time, and they were looking for a drummer. And honestly, I hadn't played drums in some time, but I've been playing drums since I was a kid. I've been in a lot of different bands. Yeah. So getting the call up, and I'd actually followed the Breathing Light myself, but Kyle and I had never really interacted. Yeah. I just like but I just saw another black punk person on like, I don't think it was MySpace, but like Facebook back in the day. I was like, ooh. I'm always, whenever I see another black punk, I like to collect them. I'm going to get them all, collect us all, bring them together.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Kyle asked me to meet up, and then we met up and had some Thai food and ended up just jamming. And it was a story from there. I pulled up on my motorcycle.
Yeah.
Trying to make a statement. I was like,
wild.
Going to be cool.
Oh wow, that was the only trick you did? You just reared up on it,
I can't even do wheelies on it, but like the energy, I'm like leaned back.
I dig it.
And
okay,
then after sped around off after our meeting, I was just like, wow, this person is just like out there with it in Chicago in the middle of traffic. I'm like, man, that's
crazy.
Something else.
For real, yeah. Yeah, that's not necessarily something I do, but there you go. So let me understand. What does the name Breathing Light mean?
So there is a trip hop artist named Ninten Sani. I've been saying his name wrong for so long, and I feel so bad. His name is Ninten Sani. Yeah, and he's from the UK, and he have put out a song called The Breathing Light. Probably, I want to say it was like probably 2000. Well, I learned about the song in like 2006 or 7 because I was really into trip hop. Yeah, and I was thinking about how Bad Brains had named their band off of like a Ramones lyric, and I was just like, I like this. I'm gonna try and name a group after like, a trip hop, not punk, but like trip hop, a genre that I really like, and a song that I really like, and that's just kind of that was how it happened, the Breathing Light.
So how about this? Since I'm betting a lot of people listening to this, they don't know anything about trip hop other than probably Tricky. Yeah, I would bet they don't. Yeah. Some of them, I'm just being real. So what would be a track by? See, I don't know. See, I know a lot about music, but it's cool when I get to learn something new and someone new. So what's a track by him that I should play like right now after we're done talking and for a moment? And I can edit all this out. Don't worry about it. Like I said, we're not live. We're Memorex right now.
Okay, it's cool. I think I would say Breathing Light, but also there is a song that I don't know the name of it, but I don't know, it's like the lyrics go like oceans rise, people rise with the sun. Yeah. I don't know the name of that song, the lyrics of that song, and it's on the same album.
Okay.
But yeah, there's so many different songs that he has, but those two are like the ones that I can think of, and they're like playing in my head. I just don't know the name of the song properly.
Oh, of course. That's all cool. Well, how about I figure that out, and then I will do some editing magic. Whoosh, and it'll be here.
True.
There it is. So we'll figure that out because one of the things I noticed, because my girlfriend, my partner Julia, she's a lot more into hip hop and kind of R&B and rap, and I'm kind of new wave rock, punk, that kind of thing, and I also really love like 70s soul, like Curtis Mayfield, all those dudes, and I put a record on, and she says, "Oh yeah, that's this, and it's from this song," and just the blending of genres, like in modern times, is really cool to me and really interesting to me. So, what do you think of just the blending of genres? Because I think, and this is my opinion, I think that hip hop and industrial music, and even kind of dark wave post-punk, they're all aligned. They're all in this kind of just melange of stuff, and they're all very similar because they all share the same roots. So they're all together. But what do y'all think? What do you say to that?
I think that it makes sense. I think that I don't know. I think that the way that hip hop has gone for a while, there needs to be some new energy, and I know that, like, I don't know. I feel like for a long time, people weren't like screaming, and like the idea of screaming was kind of like a rock thing, and now, I guess if you think about groups like Death Grips.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's like screaming and like the kind of like, I don't want to say emo rap, but like that kind of hip hop is, it's coming to a forefront, and it's like more acceptable. Because when I think about it, I think the first person I think about is Khalees, because she had a song where she like screamed and people were just like, what is she doing? She's screaming. And like, why would you scream on a song? And then like after that, it was just like, that just became like, people kind of took that and was just like, okay, we can do this. We can present the music in this way.
Honestly, I'm not surprised by the fact that there's crossover, because it's like all of those genres themselves are like, I'm not going to say they're resistance music, but it's like coming from people who are not like the mainstream. It's all coming from this like othered idea or consciousness. So the fact that they come back together, even though they're not like formed together, they come back together so flawlessly, is because it's just like the same energy. And like we know like it's a lot more mainstream now for a lot of that stuff, but like it just makes sense to me that they do all come back together. Before I was in the Breathing Light, I've been in a lot of different bands, but one of the bands I was in was like a Midwest emo band called Merchant Ships. And what was so cool about that is like, we did that back in the day, but then like I get reminded of stuff like that all the time on the internet. But to talk about the genres coming together over the pandemic, and I don't know when he released it, but Lil B, a Berkeley native, actually took one of our old songs and then worked it into a Lil B song that was like his emo song, and he was doing emo songs. And I was just like, I had heard that, I was a Lil B fan, I'd heard that song, and it didn't even like register to me. I was like, oh wait, that's like, hold up, that's like our music. That's us. Wow. Like, okay. And I don't know if it was like a direct sample, but it was like distant enough that we weren't mad about it, but it was like distant enough that it was like, oh wow, this is like clearly inspired by it. And I just like made like some offhand comment to him on Twitter, and he like was reposting one of the songs. I was like, yo, please don't use my ugly childhood pictures. Like, find the good ones. He was like, yo, man, it's not even like that. So we had like a little back and forth like over the pandemic when everybody was just in the house.
Oh, sure.
And it was just like, I was like, I'm literally texting Lil B right now for real. And it's like, it's funny just because like as a kid, you know, in high school, seeing like all the like the hyphy stuff and like the Vans video and being like in our classroom, like me and all my bandmates trying to do the dances and stuff. And then he's just like, yo, I like this little stuff you guys did. Like at the time we were listening to that, and I'm just like, it's like, it's almost seems like it was like intentional that happened.
Yeah.
Like without even knowing. It's just like, it's coming from the same place, same energy.
Oh, sure. And that's exactly what you were both saying. It's very similar energy. It's resistance. It's standing up to not being othered, because that is absolutely the thing, isn't it? Oh, no, of course. Not a problem. Get comfy, please. But, So I know, you Kyle, you started the Breathing Light sort of about 2010-ish, from what I remember from the first album.
08.
Oh wait, see, a couple of years off.
It's okay.
Okay, so 08, and you just you know, you started it in Alabama, as you said. And when was did you do your first album in Alabama or in Chicago?
It was in Chicago. I mean, so with the recordings, they were happening during like vacations and breaks from school. So I would record some songs in Alabama. I would record some songs in an art room in Alabama, and then I would record, and they were parts sometimes. Sometimes they were full songs, sometimes they were parts. So it would be in Alabama in some parts, and then sometimes it would be in Chicago, the south suburbs, South Holland, and then it would just go kind of like back and forth until like there was like full material and songs together. But yeah, the early recordings are like kind of recorded from both places, like Illinois and Alabama. So
what has, since the earliest recordings and your earliest musical experience, how has your musical process changed? What from having kind of bits and pieces and such, where have you progressed to? What are you doing nowadays that way?
Oh wow. So when I started out, and I hope this might be inspiration for people, or people getting started. But like when I started out, I had like those like 4-track mixers. I forget what it's called, but it's
the Tascams.
Tascam.
Oh, Porta Studios, right?
Well, no, it's not Tascam. It was like the like cheap ones that you would get from like a Guitar Center. It's like the cheapest one.
Oh, sure.
So I started out with those, and then I would have an interface, and that was when like Ableton Live came with like an interface.
Oh, sure.
M Audio, the M Audio 1 or 2 or something. Anyways, and that's how I got started, and I would just hook up all the instruments through the interface and whatever. I'm just like with the gear that I was using, but like I didn't know what I was doing, so I would just record stuff that way. But like now it's just like I've kind of taken that process and really haven't changed it that much. But it's like now it's not just like guitar, bass, and drums. Now it's like violins and cellos and other instruments and just a lot of different things, and there's more ideas and concepts involved than like what it was before. So now it's just like it kind of expanded. But yeah, from then to now it's just kind of been like that. That's kind of how the change is or has been.
How has it expanded since then? Are you dealing with different subject matters or ideas or thoughts? What's the expansion? Where's it gone?
Yeah, the ideas they're kind of the same. I think I kind of like talk about like what it means to like. That's so funny. We were just in a restaurant and I was having a conversation with our server about this very thing, because she was excited about seeing us as a band.
Yeah.
Like me and DJ,
Yeah.
and she was like asking for autographs and pictures and stuff. And I like when she's like, "What is your music about?" And I'm like, "The music is about, it's about like having a soul, or like the idea of a soul, or even like some of it is about Chicago and living in Chicago, and yeah, it's just." It's kind of, it's about that kind of subject matter of like life, death. What do you do with your life? What do you do with your existence? And just different things. And sometimes the meanings change. Because, I've written a song about dealing with topics of, I suppose, intercourse and that meanings change from that I find out like it's about gangs and it has a double entendre, and I'm like, I didn't realize that when I wrote this song.
Sure.
But I guess it like there is meaning in these correlation of ideas that kind of sound the same or is essentially come from the same place.
Okay. So let me ask this then. Well, no, I should. Just a note to myself: stop asking that, Jackie.
No, ask.
No. So has DJ? Have you collaborated with Kyle on newer material or done anything like that, or primarily are you, Kyle, writing most of the material for the Breathing Light?
So Kyle writes most.
Talking to the mic.
Kyle writes most of the material for the Breathing Light, if not all of it. Okay. Now that's always like set to change, and Kyle is like definitely always open to collaboration. So a lot of times, like I will give ideas for stuff or things. Like even in this new record, like a lot of I initially played drums in the Breathing Light, but now I play bass. Yeah. But in a lot of the drumming on the new album, I even noticed like just some of the ideas I had given, despite me like not creating them, I could hear my input on it, like coming through from like things Kyle had heard me say, like, maybe we should do a little bit more of this, or explore like being a little bit more open with song format, or just taking new approaches, but getting like having the same goal with a new approach. And it's just kind of like, it's like not the same, but you're working through it, and it's just like a new process, and it sounds like refreshing.
Yeah, it's the editing process. You definitely part of the editing process. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, and that's something I know very, very well too. After all, a lot of what I do, I pre-record. Like when I get to talk to people or do shows or bands, I pre-record it and I edit it. But doing a live show versus edited, that's a whole nother thing. In fact, let me ask you, what was it that you were performing at Oakland yesterday?
Oakland, we played a lot of stuff from the Give Up album. We played stuff from, what is it? Cold Static. We played some stuff from Cold Static World. We even played a new song from the upcoming record. So our set list is a mixture of like, some challenging songs and some songs to get the crowd like a taste of like what we do or how we sound. It would seem, I suppose.
Sure. I dig it. I see. So then it was the 145th. Let me say that again. It was the 143. I need to enunciate that. The 143 festival you were performing at, and that was at Lake Merritt. What? And again, tell please who our listeners what is the 143 festival? What's the idea behind it?
I think that 143. So, from my understanding, Chicago had a festival called the Black and Brown Festival. I say this a lot, but big ups to Monica and Dante. They started this Black and Brown Punk Festival in Chicago probably around 2009. And then when they did this, they kind of like exported the idea to different chapters. And I know Texas has a chapter. pretty sure New Orleans has a chapter, and Oakland started a chapter. And so 143 Dimension is the chapter started by Shauna Shantae, and it just and friends, because it wasn't just Shauna, Jade, and some other people, Tatina, and others, Sharmy, and they started this festival, and it became Oakland's Black and Brown Fest, and I think now I kind of feels like they're kind of becoming their own thing, and it's still Black and Brown, but I do believe that they are starting their own thing, and I hope it grows, they get sponsors, and it gets bigger, and it becomes a staple for the city, as well as like Shauna and all the bands that they promote.
Absolutely. That would be a brilliant thing. In fact, let me ask this. Why do you think like punk, post-punk, these kind of scenes in general, why is it the perception, and this is a perception, that there aren't black folks who are goths, who are post-punk, who are punks? Why? Whereas, you look at, pictures from back in the day, you see the shows, you see the things. Everyone's been there forever. Every race, every gender, everything. But let me talk. Let me let you talk. What do you think?
I think it kind of reminds me of the Q Lazarus documentary that just came out.
Brilliant show.
Yeah, they had a screening in Chicago, and we got to meet the director and ask her questions, and through the documentary you could kind of see that Q really didn't get the recognition that she was kind of owed in the scene, but she didn't realize till later that how much of like Goodbye Horses was an influence on like goth and like post-punk. And when I asked the director that, I was just like, did she realize how much? She's like, yeah, not until like, she started looking up stuff online, and then she finally realized like, it was big in like queer dance parties, and it was a big goth staple, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, I'm glad she got to see that, because then she was just like, I don't know, I guess she was like, where is my audience, or what is my audience? And so there's always been black goths everywhere, and goths of color. I think that the idea of like spooky and like the black community has always been there. There's always been movies like Vampire in Brooklyn.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Blackula.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so it's in Screaming Jay Hawkins. I mean, it's always
love him. Yeah.
There's it's always been there, and you have different, spiritual practices that align. I don't know. It's always been there. And I don't know. I don't think we had like a dress code for it, so to speak. I mean, maybe it kind of was. Like, when I think about Erykah Badu's like Baduism and that kind of like neo soul, like spiritual, that was kind of like the kind of spiritual neo soul type of deal, but that it was aligns with, like the gothic spiritualism type deal. But I don't know, there's so many different ways in which things overlap, but now it's coming to a front where like these things are aligning, all these things are aligning, and kind of black people are finding their influence and their voice and their ideas within gothic culture, and like applying it to like, who they are, and they're like, and it's only gonna kind of meld even more as like people kind of find their footing in what it means to be goth in subculture and like in the community. So it's gonna be interesting.
For real.
I just see so many things happening. So Yeah.
Just in case you don't remember or know, this is Dr. Dilworth and you're not. And this is the kind of middle of the dark party. We're having an interview with the Breathing Light, Kyle and DJ. Very good interview. No music this hour, but very good interview. Still have about a half hour left. We'll get to it in a moment after this. So in about a half hour, Art Bell, somewhere in time, but we still got a half hour left with the Breathing Light. Some more cool stuff. I hope this is an interview you're enjoying. I learned a lot, and next time we're going to get them to play here. So we'll figure it out. But until then, let's listen to the interview. Kick it, Fiona. DJ, you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I just I don't want to say exactly what Kyle just said.
Fair enough.
But
talking to the mic.
I don't want to say exactly what Kyle just said, but to touch on it, I feel like when you look at marketing and stuff in the media, you see like there's this cookie cutter build of like who you're expecting to listen to these kind of genres. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that's ever matched for me personally.
No.
When you're like out in public or just always like you're listening to this in a group of people, and I feel like everybody's always been represented in actuality, maybe not in the media of like who we want to share and who we want to put on and like make these images of like this is what a goth person looks like, this is what this person looks like. And when you see like a black person, usually you want to, depending on who's depicting the media, it's like a lot of times like, oh, you guys like this is what you like, and that's what's acceptable for you to like. But like one of my babysitters when I was growing up was actually was really into goth, and she would always like have us like falling asleep, and I didn't like it at first, but she would always have us falling asleep when Follow the Leader came out. Now that's not like the most goth, but she was just goth herself, and like we would always like fall asleep to Follow the Leader, and me and my siblings were like, this is scary. I don't know what's going on here. Like, we're not gonna tell mom because like we like being over here, but it's a little scary, a little creepy. And like as time went on, I'm just like, yo, I actually like do like this stuff. Like, I don't know if it was just like, oh, I'm hearing this for the first time, to like now it's just like, oh yeah, like that album, like I've heard so many times, and it's just like interesting to think about, because there's always a stereotype of like, oh yeah, black people don't do X, Y, and Z, and it's just like really like we've always done everything.
Absolutely true. This is absolutely true, 100% true. And I'm just going to say I'll just say this. It's unfortunate that people aren't open-minded and want to actually see reality and understand that humans are humans and people dig what they dig. And there it is.
Dig like a grave.
There it is, yeah. So let me ask, because let me ask about Sinners. What have you seen Sinners? What do you think of Sinners?
We've actually both now seen Sinners, which took some time.
Yeah, I will admit I haven't got to it yet because I'm busy watching wrestling and chasing after my girlfriend and our kids together. So without, I guess, spoilers, just to be clear, how do you feel about Sinners and just the genre? And was it a good movie? Was it just what do you think of Sinners? What do y'all think?
I actually really like the movie. Because again, like watching it for the first time in the theater, like it's a lot for me to take in. But then like I'm gonna rewatch it again on whatever streaming platform it's on. I don't know if I can say that or not.
We could say it, but I'd probably edit it out anyway. But we know where you can find it.
But I'm excited to rewatch it again, just because I've seen like so many concepts and like theories built online, and everybody's just like, oh my god, this is like touching on this like classic theory. Like even like the premise of the movie, just like, not to ruin spoilers and stuff, but I feel like like a lot, and I'm not gonna say every, but I feel like every black person has just like heard a parent or old elder say something that's like, you just can't go into anybody's house, and don't just let anybody into my house. And like to see that put into a movie with like vampires and the time period, it's just like, it's very fun because there's like so much going on in that movie, and I imagine Kyle probably got a little bit of it too, since like there's like a Chicago element in that movie too, even despite not being set there. But I found that interesting as soon as I'm like, oh wow, okay, like they're taking the sides together, and it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I was supposed to go see it with DJ. I don't know what happened. We were supposed to go see it together, but yeah, my girlfriend, she wanted me to see it, and we watched it together. Mm-hmm. And I know she wanted me to see it because my family's from Mississippi. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like the Great Migration. That's partially one of the themes of the movie. Yes. And so it was very interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's weird. It's a weird thing to grow up with people who like live that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And like to have relatives that lived that kind of stuff. And then, you know, you hear them talk about it. And I've watched movies. And then like with my grandfather, and he tells me like, you know, this happened. This really happened. And I'm just like, man, even my mom, she's from Mississippi. Mm-hmm. So she remembers the signs, the segregation signs, because mm-hmm. those are like from her childhood. And so I don't know. It was very interesting to see that movie, even though like that's way older than like her time period. But yeah, it's interesting to see the movie. It's interesting to see like the environment and being like, you know, you have Native American people, Asian people, and Black people all in this setting together. Mm-hmm. And you know, when you think about like what it means to be down home, mm-hmm. you know, you're not thinking about like, typically you're not really thinking about Asian people when you're thinking about down home, but it's great that was there. So like when you are thinking about down home, what it means to be down home, and like in Mississippi and going back, you know, to that, it's mm-hmm. like you're seeing like what it was really like, and the interactions and the relationships that people had with each other. And it shows you like how much we are like what America really is, and like how much we depend and rely on each other, and how close we are as a community, despite like, you know, like where our families originate from or where they came from. So I really appreciate that. And also like, yeah, the whole idea of introducing Southern Gothic into like media, and it becoming a subject matter for like popular culture, because I think, yeah, it's kind of been a long time coming. I know that kind of topic and that kind of subculture has been like in books for a long time, but never been seen in on film before. So it's nice that it's like actual like a visual representation of like what Southern Gothic kind of is and what mm-hmm. could be.
Sure, and instead of having, say, you say Southern Gothic, I bet a lot of people who are goths will probably talk about Anne Rice and the vampires in New Orleans and all that. But mm-hmm. there's all kinds of things in the South, and there's all kinds of traditions. And from what I've seen of Sinners, it seems like it's more like it really was more realistic than, say, what Anne Rice has ever written. But there you go.
Yeah.
At least that's my impression.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me ask about this. Now, new music, new things, because I know the last Breathing Light album is from 2022, 2023?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the EP.
Yes, exactly. So Akiko did mention to me that you have a new album. Can you tell me something about it?
The new album. I think the new album, it has a lot of references and ideas about certain things when it was written, because it was written and recorded last year. Mm-hmm. So there's kind of references to Gaza. There's references to what else? Like Chicago. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of interesting things happening in Chicago when I was written. So, and that mm-hmm. stuff is in there. And then also too, like what is happening with us? Like what is happening with people today? Like, what are we really doing? Because I feel like the psyche of America and the psyche of Americans is changing. And it was definitely changing, like, when I wrote this, but it's definitely changed, like, a whole lot now. And I think that when it was written, it was kind of like watching things kind of metastasize. And, like, there were songs that I've written before, like Bright Future from the Give Up album, that where I was saying that we are going to live in a bright future and not in a bright future that was like a positive thing. And now it's crazy to be singing that song, and a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is really happening. Like, which animals are in a cage, and which animals are like the other ones outside who are acting like, zoo animals, particularly ice, it's, so I'm like, I don't know. It's so that the record is written. I don't know. I would say this on the record, like most of our records are written in like probably 2 or 3 years in advance of what any of this stuff really means. So if you want to like know what the future's gonna be like, you can listen to a Breathing Light record and be like, oh yeah, that was like 2 or 3 years like before whatever they're talking about is happening like right now. So we're like the Simpsons in like musical format.
Okay, well maybe that can be part of your description, just the Simpsons in musical format.
For the most part.
Wow. Okay. So when is the album coming out, and can you tell me the name?
The name is In the True World. It's kind of like, I don't know if I misheard this like saying from Wesley Willis in one of his performances.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he says something about like in the true world, but like true world is an actual like philosophical idea. The world that we live in is our world, but there's also a world that is like existing that we're unaware of, that is happening at the same time that we're happening, and that is the true world, so to speak. And I do not have a date for it right now, but it's coming. Coming. The date is coming too.
Okay, that's exciting. And what did you all play on? What instruments? What'd you do? What'd you do on it? Oh,
I mean, Kyle's one of those like savant types,
Prince.
Prince
does it all, sings it all, plays it all.
Prince. I promise I try not to be Prince, but it just happens that way.
Fair enough.
Again, it's like cello, violin, drums, guitar, bass, synths, tambourine, bells, maybe triangle, saxophone. I had learned the saxophone in like 3 days.
Oh, sure. Alto or tenor?
A tenor.
Oh, cool.
No, alto.
The smaller one.
The smaller one, alto.
Sure.
That was the one I could afford.
Fair enough. I can appreciate that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's all the instruments. And I had to work and save up enough money to get all that stuff. Thank you, Amy Lou, because she's not been happy about me buying instruments. She's like, you buy all these instruments? I'm like, yeah, I got it. I have a sound in my head. I got it. She's like, okay, but rent.
Well, yeah. You have to have somewhere to keep your instruments, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but we've been working it out.
Fair enough.
She's cool.
Good. So DJ, what did you do on the album? Have you done anything on the album other than maybe supervise,
give my opinion on things.
DJ did record some stuff.
Fair enough.
But again, like I just feel like, in the live version, like, because there's like obviously like different sides to everything. And I feel like obviously the recording is almost just as not almost. I mean, it's like you're just trying to bring this to life. So I feel like, you know, I do feel a part of it.
Sure.
Not to like stretch my role in it, but you know, bringing these ideas to life, it feels like just as important. Just because like you're bringing it, you are the version that people are gonna see first in a lot of the cases.
Yeah.
And like obviously, like sometimes, like obviously, you see stuff through like streaming and different platforms, but I imagine like a lot of times when people are seeing new bands, they're just like they're at a show and they see this going, and it's like, as long as I'm trying to stay true to the recordings and like give people like the feelings like I had when I first listened to it, I feel like just as big of a part of it too.
Oh, sure. That's how people come to it, and then they start listening and then understanding and experiencing, and then there's a lot of breathing light that they have to catch up on, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of breathing light. Yeah, so much breathing light. So many different versions. Yeah.
What would be, if I said to you, where do I start? What's the song I start with to get into breathing light? What would be a song to hear?
Down. Everybody keeps.
Yeah, well, I would say Nothing at All.
Okay.
I would say Nothing at All. I remember when Nothing at All happened, I used to run a Tumblr page, and people loved Nothing at All. There was a song called Play Dead and Nothing at All, and people loved Nothing at All. That was like our first like hit. Like they just couldn't get enough of Nothing at All. And the song is still like it's still up. You can hear it, but like I would say Nothing at All would be like the first song if you want to get to know us to listen to, because it's the first song that a lot of people really, really liked. And I trust people to like, you know, if you're a fan, you know, like, yeah, just enjoy. Yeah. If that's your favorite song, if a lot of people like that song, yeah, enjoy that song. But also, yeah, I think like the next song up would be Down, because currently, yeah, just like DJ said, like currently people are loving this song a lot. And I'm like, that's interesting. I couldn't have seen that happening, but that would be the second song to like check out after like Nothing at All.
Cool. All right. Where do we find you online? We can't find that Tumblr anymore, can we?
It's still around, but it doesn't play the music.
Oh, fair enough. So we probably have to look on the.
Are broken.
Well, the links are broken, but Tumblr is forever, I guess.
Yeah. Also, Last FM is still around.
I know, right? I used to scrabble things, and I was like, for weird, obscure bands, I was like the #1 fan, and it was kind of a thing, you could say. Hey, you know.
Yeah, to be on Last FM. I mean, yeah, Merchant Ships was big Last FM.
Honestly, you know, not to like go too far back into time, but it's really sad that like, you know, obviously Last FM still exists, but like at the time where everybody had iPods and like, you know, we were so excited to like get home and like plug them in and like, I'm going to get my Scrabbles on. And like, it was so fun because like I met so many friends on Last FM.
Yeah.
Because we just like, we started to notice like the songs that we thought were for our little friend group. Like we're just like, oh wait, there's other people like in this country here, obviously across the world, but like in this country here that like the same songs we like. And then one day we were just like, yo, let's talk to these people. And they're like, we noticed you guys too. You guys like the same stuff. And it's just like I met so many friends just like from that website specifically, just like, oh my God. And we would like book each other like tours. Like you come to my town, you can play. Like the first show trade I did was just like with a band we saw, like we shared the most listeners with. And we're like, well, that means we have to be friends. And we did. We became friend bands.
Cool. All right. So then online, where can we find both of your stuffs? Where can we find your stuff?
Online, you can find us at Bandcamp. That's pretty much what came with the new, I guess, the updated version, or where people go from Last FM currently is Bandcamp. So breathing light.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
You can find us on Instagram at the Breathing Light. And I guess, yes, we have a SoundCloud. We have like a Google. You could Google us. I know there's
Are we on all the major streaming platforms?
Yeah, Spotify, Apple Music. We're everywhere pretty much. Anywhere you can look us up, we're there. We used to we even have a page on Black Planet.
Fair enough.
I did not know that.
Yes,
fair enough.
We have a friend page on Black Planet.
It's like we are the one black punk band
That
from
was
Black
so.
Planet.
I was like, we're gonna be everywhere, and I made it. It's probably still up there. It's a Breathing Light page on BlackPlanet.com, and I think I made that in like 2009 or 8, like when it started. Yeah,
I haven't thought about that website in a long time.
Yeah, we auditioned for this thing on BET.
Oh, wow,
then,
really?
Yeah, they used to have like this thing where you could like reality show, like get on there and like do your like this, perform or something. And yeah, they had wrote me a letter back because they was like, we just need a live performance video of you, and they wrote me back like, you guys are great, but we don't see you don't appeal to our not fan base,
demographic perhaps.
Yeah, demographic. And they were just like, in the future you'll be big and you can say that you got turned down by BET. And I was just like, what kind of letter is this? Like, why would you tell me that? Like, why would you be like, I'm gonna be proud to have been dismissed by BET? This doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
But I don't know. BET's so funny. Anyway, shout out to BET.
There it is. There it is.
Oh goodness.
And DJ, what was the other band that you were in? Do you have any side projects?
Yeah, I've been in a lot of different bands, but I think the one that most people would probably recognize me from is Merchant Ships.
Merchant Ships.
That band has like been done for a long time, but it's got like a second on top of a third or fourth win from like the Gin Alphas. It's like going viral for basically the kids who were 16 and 17 when I was 16 and 17 are like, oh my God, this music connects with me so much, and I'm happy for them.
Yes.
And me too, because
absolutely,
I get to share from my couch. That's amazing.
There you go. That's the idea of it. All right. And after your show in Fullerton, it's back to Chicago.
Yeah, I think we have a show in August called Hot Blood Festival. Shout out to Martin. If you are somebody in a band and you are looking for shows in Chicago, please hit up Martin Kazi. Martin Kazi is awesome and doesn't get the recognition and credit that they deserve for being an awesome booker and promoter in Chicago. So hit up Martin, pay Martin. Martin deserves money for
Martin
booking
money.
shows and being an awesome person and like providing a space for people to perform. So shout out to Martin Kazi.
And I also want to say, touring bands, buy merch and help them out, and, for gas money and all kinds of money. But buy merch. What kind of merch do you got with you right now?
Oh, we have our EP, and
also,
okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I just, before we got away from us, I feel like it'd be right to shout out Psychic Guy and Don't Panic
and
too.
Absolutely, both of them.
For like doing all the work to get this record into what it needs to be, and like working with us and dealing with our schedules and us as people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So the EP is Love Bust Down, and we have shirts that we're gonna post the rest online. We have long sleeves. We have some new short sleeves. Yeah, we have merch, and then we have the new record coming out pretty soon. It's being pressed right now, so
cool.
Yeah, it's coming out like really, really soon.
All right, that's exciting. So new music from the Reading Light. That's exciting. So awesome. All right, and anything else that you want to say before we all travel into the night?
Yeah. I want to say that people need to keep your head up. I am somebody who my father was deported when I was a baby. And so I understand what people are going through with being afraid and having their families ripped apart, because mine was ripped apart when I was a child. And I want you to know that you have to keep your head up and you have to be strong and you have to fight, because your family can be ripped apart and there's nothing that can fix that. Because I didn't grow up with my dad because my family was ripped apart by the government. So you have to fight. Yes. You have to fight.
Yes.
And you have to do what you need to do to keep your families together. And that's coming from somebody who had their family ripped apart in the 80s. So, yeah, fight, keep your families together, and do what you got to do.
All right. DJ, do you have any last thoughts before we go away?
Kyle made a very powerful point, and the only thing I had to say was very funny, so it might be best to wrap it up on that.
Well, fair enough. Okay, then we can, although we always like to have humor, but there it is. All right. Thank you, guys.
Shout outs to Gucci.
True. Right, good night.
We went a little over, but that's okay. I am Dr. Dilworth, you're not. This was The Dark Party, and we're about to hand it over to Art Bell, already in progress. Next week, we're going to have 2 sets of the finest dark wave known to humanity ahead. So tune in wherever you do. Thank you. Make sure you get some water, stay out of most kinds of trouble, and come back next week. So dig it, and here's Art Bell.
Who had been through the area to check their vehicles for bullet holes. That's great. Now you have to stop and check for bullet holes. Hours later, 2 more vehicles were struck by bullets on yet another 4-lane highway.